Good morning, everyone. It's fantastic to see everyone here, and especially to see some familiar names that we might not have seen in a while. So welcome. My name is Mary Francis. I'm one of the Rejuvenation Medical Qigong students, and welcome to Sunday morning medical Qigong class. So on Sundays, we do our warm-ups, and then we do 3-line relaxation, and then we do a little bit of rejuvenation, the exercises we've gone over so far in the series, which is 1 through 4. All right, let's go ahead and start out with our warm-up. So opening up, our feet are going to be hip width, shoulder width apart, and we're simply settling into the space. Relaxing the bottoms of the feet, softening the knees, relaxing the low back, relaxing the shoulders, softening the jaw, allowing the very tip of the tongue to touch the roof of the mouth, and allowing the very top of the head to reach up into the sky. Now from here, we're simply going to start swaying from side to side, allowing the hands to come into loose fists. And if this is the first thing you've done this morning, you of course want to go gently, slowly warming up the tissues of the low back. And then gradually, allowing that lead arm to travel up the torso towards the opposing shoulder. Maybe a little added pressure in the shoulder is okay. And then allowing the arms to come back down the torso to the lower abdomen. Releasing the hands, allowing ourselves to come back to center. And then widening the stance, I'm going to scooch over so that I'm in frame. Opening up the channels in the lower half of the body, tapping the inner thigh, and then up at the transitioning, starting from the hip, working our way down the inner aspect of the legs towards just above the ankle or wherever it's comfortable for you. Before then traveling to the outer aspect of the legs, coming back on up towards the hips and the glutes. Once you get to the glutes, sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining with shoulder width distance. Once again, maybe you can add a little bit more oomph into the gluteal area before then backing off of the pressure. Coming to just underneath the rib cage. Saying hello to the kidneys, waking up that kidney energy. And then placing the palms at the low back, circling down the sides and up the spine, generating a little bit of warmth to this area now. Resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing the energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the kidneys, allowing the low back to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing this energy to travel to wherever it's needed. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And allowing the chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed. And gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides. And closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. For our 3 relaxation, just to remind everyone, it's kind of 5 lines. So we're going to imagine coming down the front of the body, down the back of the body, coming down the sides of the head to the shoulders, and then down on the outsides of the arms. And then we're going to allow the energy to gather underneath the armpit area, flowing down the medial aspect of the arms. And then finally, this is where it gets to be almost 5 lines, from underneath the arms, flowing down the sides of the body, down the outer and inner aspects of the body. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're opening up. Feet are hip width, shoulder width apart. In a nice, stable, relaxed stance. And then closing the eyes. Breathing in and out through the nose with the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. We're imagining that we're standing underneath a waterfall of energy. This waterfall is flowing down from the sky, bringing with it clear, pure energy to help release any stagnations and provide extra nourishment to wherever it's needed. We're first imagining this waterfall of energy flowing down from the sky to the very top of the head, the apex of the head. It's flowing forward through the scalp to the forehead, flowing down the forehead to the brow, flowing down through the brow, entering the eyes, circulating within the eyes before then coming out over the cheeks and the bridge of the nose, flowing down underneath the nose, through the nose, to greet the upper lips, entering into the mouth through the upper gums and the upper teeth, circulating down into the lower teeth, the lower gums, flowing back on out through the lower lips, and then flowing down through the chin, underneath the chin, to travel down through the throat, relaxing the musculature and the sinews and tissues of the throat, to gather at the clavicle, then coming down the tissues of the upper chest, flowing down into the solar plexus, into the upper abdomen, circulating throughout the entire abdomen, cooling down into the lower abdomen, gathering at the frontal aspect of the hips, the hip flexor area, before then working its way down through the thighs, the quadriceps, flowing through the musculature, then attaching to the kneecaps, entering the knee joint, circulating throughout the knee joint. Before then exiting just under the kneecap, down through the shins. Through the musculature of the shins. Down to the connection between the shin and the feet, that frontal aspect of the ankle, before then flowing through the bones of the feet, the tops of the feet, into the webs of the toes, and then through the toes, releasing back into the earth. Taking a moment to just breathe. Allowing this waterfall of energy to take with it anything you don't need or want. Softening and relaxing any areas that might feel stuck. Leaving behind this clear, pure energy to nourish the body, the tissues, the organs. Bringing our mind's eye back to the very top of the head, the apex of the head. Allowing this waterfall of energy to now travel posteriorly, backwards through the scalp. Down into the occiput area, that tender area where the skull meets the neck. Flowing down through the cervical spine, the tissues of the neck. Greeting the tops of the shoulders. Coming down through the upper aspect of the back, the thoracic spine, scapula, the musculature, sinews. Flowing down through from the upper back to the mid back. Down into the low back and the lumbar spine. The tissues of the low back now meeting up with the gluteal area and the sacral area. Circulating here before then flowing out at the connection between the glutes and the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs. Traveling down through the hamstrings to meet in that soft tissue area behind the knee, circulating throughout the knee, and exiting down through the calves, flowing down through the tissues and musculature of the calves to connect with the Achilles tendon. Flowing to the heels of the feet, circulating throughout the heels, before then flowing up underneath the feet, the arches of the feet, to the pads of the feet, the balls of the feet, the webs of the toes, out through the toes, emptying back into the earth. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace, allowing the energy to be flowing now through both the front of the body, the back of the body. Bringing the mind's eye to the very top of the head. We're now flowing down the sides of the head, into the temple, entering the ear, circulating throughout the ear before then traveling within the jaw, softening the sinews and tissues of the jaw, while then flowing down underneath the jaw, connecting with the sides of the neck, flowing down through the sides of the neck, connecting with the shoulders, relaxing and softening the musculature there before entering the shoulder joint, that ball and socket joint, circulating, flowing, coming down through the outer aspect of the upper arms, into the elbows, through the outer aspect of the forearms, relaxing and releasing the musculature here before then entering into the bones of the wrists, flowing through these bones before then working its way through the backs of the hands, the bones of the hands, into the webs of the fingers, flowing through the fingers and then emptying out into the earth. And breathing, allowing this waterfall of energy to take with it anything you don't need or want. Softening any areas that feel stuck. Nourishing any areas that might need a little extra kindness. Just a quick note. If you ever feel like you need to open your eyes or sit, please feel free to do so. Taking breaks are okay. And now coming back to the exercise, allowing the energy to float up into the armpit area, letting the arms float away from the torso just a bit, so that the chi can circulate more freely. Allowing this energy to flow down through the inner aspect of the arm, into the elbows, flowing down through the inner aspect of the forearms, gathering into the wrists, and then pooling into the palms of the hands, gathering and flowing through the musculature there, before then moving its way into the webs of the fingers, and through the fingers, releasing through the fingertips, flow back into the earth. And one last time, allowing the energy to gather underneath the armpit area. We're now flowing down through the sides of the torso, skipping down over and through the ribs and these inner spaces, into the waist, gathering into the hip joint, circulating throughout the hip joint, all those wonderful tendons and ligaments there. We're then flowing inner and outer aspect of the thighs, down through and into the knee joint, circulating throughout the knee joint, before then flowing down the inner and outer aspects of the lower leg, Connecting with the ankle joint. Gathering within the ankle joint, circulating there. Or then flowing down through the inner and outer aspects of the feet, wrapping down to underneath the feet. And then exiting out through the bottoms of the feet, back into the earth. Breathing at your own pace, allowing this waterfall of energy to take with it anything you don't need or want. Softening all those little areas that might feel a little stuck. Leaving behind clear, pure energy to nourish. Enjoying that connection between the sky and the earth. And allowing the breath to encompass the body. Okay, so first we're going to allow the arms to come back down to the sides. And gently open the eyes. Coming back. Then going to close by bringing that left foot back to the right. If you need a little extra time, you are certainly more than welcome to take it. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into the Rejuvenation series, working on exercises 1 through 4. We're going to start the same way we start with all of these exercises. The feet are together. And scoot over a bit. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. The wave. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. A few more times at your own pace. And about one more. Closing. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. That was the modified version of the closing breath, extra breath. The shaking exercise. Closing the eyes. And slowing down. The eyes are closed, opening them and closing. The traditional closing is coming all the way up on one inhale. And then the same exhaling, inhaling into the breastbone. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Our infinity exercise. Inhaling and exhaling. And getting ready to close. Closing. And you get to do the closing exercise that works best with you, either the modification or the classical version. And scoop the moon. Scoops the moon is natural breathing. Out one more on each side. And closing. We're going to do a short closing today. So keeping the feet together, bringing the palms together, transferring some of that wonderful, wonderful energy that you've been cultivating over the past half hour to the palms. Placing the palms to the lower dantian. 9 circles, up the right, down the left. Gathering that wonderful chi that you've been cultivating into the lower dantian. And then switching directions, 9 circles. Concentrating that energy. Settling that energy into the lower dantian. Giving it a happy home to reside in until we need it. Once you've done your 9 circles, resting the palms of the lower dantian, closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing this energy to settle and store so that you might use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling, gathering the chi into the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up. Exhaling, allowing this energy to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And allowing the chi to settle and store so that you might use it throughout the rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Qigong family. It's now time for Social Sunday. I think. Yay! Hi,
Yay,
everyone.
Social Sunday! Everybody. Can't wait. Thank you for leading practice with us. So just before we start Social Sunday, just a couple of tips with Qigong. So we're halfway through the Rejuvenation series. So make sure that you are doing the preparation before each of the exercises and then doing the closing after. One of the common mistakes is that because the closing and the opening are quite similar, that sometimes you may not realize if you did the opening yet, because like say you did the first exercise, usually the first one you've done the preparation, and then you do the wave exercise, and then you do your closing, and then after closing maybe you're not sure, like, okay, did I do it already or did I not do the preparation for the next exercise? So when in doubt, you can certainly do it again. So that's not going to mess up your practice at all. It's better to default to that than to skip the opening preparation again for the next exercise. So just a little tip for that. From personal experience, sometimes you get into your practice and you may forget whether or not you did it. So that's that. And then the second thing is that just gonna tweak our schedule this for the coming weeks is we're gonna keep Monday through Friday the same, but because we have a lot of rejuvenation already, we want to spend a little bit more time with that. So on Saturdays and Sundays, we're gonna focus on the rejuvenation series, so you get a little bit more practice each week, because the rejuvenation is a little bit more complicated. The first four are more straightforward, but when we get to the fifth exercise, there's actually 3 parts to it. And then the sixth exercise as well has 3 parts. And then the seventh exercise has a lot of steps. So I do want to make sure that we get enough time with each one. So Saturday and Sundays, it's the rejuvenation weekends. And then Monday through Friday, we'll keep it to the Golden and Basic 8. And in case you're curious, if you're not sure which one to do, because there's a lot of them now, the great thing is you have a lot of choices, and these are all different tools. Golden 8 tends to be the one that people start off with. That's kind of the easier one of the 3 that we've taught. So if you're just starting out, you may want to focus on a Golden 8 first and get that down pat. The Basic 8 it sounds basic, but it's actually a little bit more rigorous and a little bit more demanding than the Golden 8. Both of these series are good for the 12 primary channels, and it goes a little bit of the extraordinary, the Ren and the conception and the governing channels, but it's mostly for the 12 primary channels, 12 primary organs in the body, like the heart, small intestine, lung, liver, gallbladder. So it goes for all that. Whereas the rejuvenation goes deeper into your body. We work a lot more with things that are like chronic illnesses, things that go deeper into the channel. So we say the rejuvenation series works on the 8 extraordinary channels all at once. So it does go deeper, but if you do need something more specific, like the lungs, for example, or the large intestine, for example, then I would work on the Golden 8 and Basic 8. So but these are all tools that you want in your tool belt. And certain days you may want to do one versus the other. So now you have a lot of tools. If you're with us for the whole week, you get to cover everything. Okay, so that's just to give you a little catch up for those of you who are new to Qigong. We're doing Social Sunday, so we like to get to know you and have you introduce yourselves, and we'll get started.